Hare Krishna. Harival, Jagrati, Jambavati rather. Satvat, Kennedy, Hare Krishna. And thank you all for joining. My apologies, I'm a little late. We will start off, and of course, Satya Sankalpa. We'll start off with our Mangalacharan prayers, and we can get started on chapter 11 of Gita. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guroho Shri Utapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tvam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivas Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Hare Krishna. I welcome all of you for the Bhakti Sastri class. Carrying on with chapter 11. Last week we completed chapter 10. In the chapter 10 we discussed how when Krishna asked Arjuna, always think of me. One of the questions Arjuna asks is, how should I think of you? In what form should I think of you? And Krishna expands, or not expands, rather tells in a very concise fashion of his opulences. And he says that by a single fragment of myself, I pervade this entire universe. When he says, by a single fragment of myself, I pervade this universe, Arjuna quickly asks Krishna, how does he pervade? And thus the chapter of the universal form that comes about. So I think we are projecting on Akhil. Hare Krishna, Akhil and Sato. Thank you for joining. Are we projecting or we are just opening our books? You are projecting? All right. That's a luxury. Kindly repeat after me. And we have the, okay. Arjuna uvacha mad anugrahaya paramam guhyam adhyatma samgnitam yat tvayoktam vachastena mohoyam vigato mama. Jambavati, please translation, and then Rupali can go on Satvat.
Translation. Hare Krishna. Arjun said, "By my hearing the instructions you have kindly given me about these most confidential spiritual subjects, my illusion has now been dispelled."
Thank you. Text 2. Can we go to text 2? Yeah. Bhavapyau hi bhutanam Shrutau vistarasho maya Tvatta kamala patraksha Mahatmyam api chavyayam.
O lotus-eyed one, I have heard from you in detail about the appearance and disappearance of every living entity and have realized your inexhaustible glories.
Thank you. Text number 3. Evametad tattvam Atmanam parameshvara Drashtum ichhami te rupam Aishwaram purushottama. Okay, you want to read? Yeah, please.
O greatest of all personalities, O supreme form, though I see you here before me in your actual position, as you have described yourself, I wish to see how you have entered into this cosmic manifestation. I want to see that form of yours.
Thank you. Manyase yadi tacchakyam Maya drashtum iti prabho Yogeshvara tato me tvam darshayatmanamavyayam.
If you think that I am able to behold your cosmic form, O my Lord, O Master of all mystic power, then kindly show me that unlimited universal self.
So here, one of the things is that Krishna or Arjuna asks Krishna to show the universal form. And Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport that this is one of the defining features of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that he can reveal the universal form. And he says that so many people claim themselves to be God these days, but if they are challenged to show their universal form, then it would be impossible. But Arjuna is asking for others' benefit, because by this point he said to Krishna, Krishna, I'm convinced. My illusion is at the very beginning of this chapter, he says, my illusion is dispelled. But he wanted to show, if somebody claims to be God, Aham Sarvasya Prabhavo, somebody says, I am the source of everything, then you better show your universal form. It is not like anybody can just become a cheap God and, just get some absurd position. Text 5. Shri Bhagavan Pashya me partha rupani Shatashota sahasrashah Nana vidani divyani Nana varna kritini cha. Or online, or you want to read?
Okay, sure. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "My dear Arjuna, O son of Pirta," I think that's right, "see now my opulences, hundreds of thousands of very divine and multicolored forms."
Thank you. Take 6. Pashyadityan vasun rudran Ashvinau marutastatha Bahunyadrishta purvani Paschascharyani bharata. Online, please.
O best of the Bharatas, see here the different manifestations of Adityas, Vasus, Rudras, Ashwini Kumars, and all the other demigods. Behold the many wonderful things which no one has ever seen or heard of before. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. And Devi Gaurangi Mataji, can you just pass the baton to someone? You can say next is this person, and then whoever reads is next and next and next. In that way, there is a continuation, if that's okay with you.
Okay, Manasi Mataji, you're next.
All right, perfect. Thank you. Text 7. Ihaikastam jagat kritsnam Pasyadya sacharacharam Mama dehe gudakesha Yachanya drashtumichhasi.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. O Arjuna, whatever you wish to see, behold at once in this body of mine. This universal form can show you whatever you now desire to see and whatever you may want to see in the future. Everything, moving and non-moving, is here completely in one place. Thank you.
Thank you.
Preeti Mataji, you can go next.
Okay. This is amazing because the universal form of Krishna is inconceivable. We can't even think of it. And as we read further on how Arjuna describes the universal form, you just hearing or seeing the form, he says, "I am bewildered and terrified, my hair are standing on end." And we just hear of it and we can feel it, because how is it even possible that we see what we can see? I'll tell you a sample. Past, present, and future is all at one place. When for us, time goes linearly. The past is always gone. It's never to be seen. And then future, you can never see. But Krishna is saying the past, present, and future, everything is like just at one place. Every person, every being, everything in this universe is just condensed into that form of the Lord. So it's something. Text 8. न तु मां शक्यसे द्रष्टुम् अनेनैव स्वचक्षुषा दिव्यं ददामि ते चक्षुः पश्य मे योगमैश्वरम्.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Text 8. But you cannot see me with your present eyes. Therefore, I give you divine eyes. Behold my mystic opulence.
Thank you.
Next is Naveen.
All right. Text 9. Sanjaya Uvacha Eva Muktva Tato Rajan Mahayogeshvaro Harihi Darshayamasa Parthaya Paramam Rupamaishwaram.
Hare Krishna. Sanjaya said, O king, having spoken thus, the Supreme Lord of all the mystic power, the personality of Godhead, displayed his universal form to Arjuna.
Nice, thank you. Naveen, who next?
Mekala Mataji.
All right. Anekavaktra Nayanam Anekadbhuta Darshanam Anekadivyabharanam Divyanekodyatayudam Divyamalyambaradharam Divyagandhanulepanam Sarvascharyamayam Devam Anantam Vishvato Mukham.
Hare Krishna. Arjuna saw that universal form. Arjuna saw in that universal form unlimited mouths, unlimited eyes, unlimited wonderful visions. The form was decorated with many celestial ornaments and bore many divine upraised weapons. He wore celestial garlands and garments, and many divine scents were smeared all over his body. All was wondrous, brilliant, unlimited, and all expanding.
Just think about it. Sorry, go ahead. Thank you.
Oh,
Who's next, Mekla? Sorry.
No problem. Sukalamala, Radha, please.
All right. So here you can see the contradiction. It starts with unlimited mouths, unlimited eyes, unlimited wonderful visions. How is unlimited present in the vision of limited? It's impossible, and that's why Krishna, he says to Arjuna, Arjuna, you cannot behold this form of mine. Let me give you divine vision. And the fun part is that, and then of course, the universal form wore celestial garlands, upraised weapons, everything at one place, divine scents were smeared all over the body. But the other thing is, all was wondrous, brilliant, unlimited, and expanding. How can unlimited expand? And all expanding. How can unlimited be all expanding? That's Krishna. When we talk, because one of the things that we should learn is that Krishna's position is entirely different than ours. And when he shows his universal form, he shows us how. One of the things is that, can God do that? Can God do this? Why would God do that? Why should God do this? Why is he like this? Why is he like that? But because if you don't understand Krishna, then you will be bewildered on why he does what he does. Though he doesn't have to do anything. So that is the power of Krishna. And one way to look at it is that, really, can God do that? To those kind of personalities, I say one thing. If you are ever pulled over by a cop for speeding, I'll say you challenge the cop that I will give you a ticket because you were speeding to catch me. Here is the ticket. You come back, and if you have achieved or successful at that mission, then let's have a talk. Maybe you are a really great personality. You cannot even challenge a cop who is going to drive faster than you to give you a ticket, and the cop has that power. In that sense, the cop is having more power than you in a simple day-to-day basis. How much more unlimitedly powerful is Krishna? And when he acts, how much more is his position to act on what we act? One of the ways to understand Krishna is, when he says, all my activities and my pastimes are divine, you just accept it. Yes, yes, sir. And it's not we follow with blind faith. And we don't, give any sort of scriptural references to his activities. His activities are all recorded in scriptures. And if proper scriptures, you get proper understanding of Krishna. Yes, Kennedy.
Hare Krishna. Because Sanjaya is the one who's explaining what's going on, can we understand that Krishna also gave him the special vision?
This one is that he could see partially. He could at least hear what Arjuna was, because he was having a vision. Sometimes he could hear what Arjuna was saying and relaying. Sometimes he had a partial vision because of Vyasadeva. It is not exactly the same as Arjuna. Thank you. Yes, Jambavati.
Hi, Krishna Prabhuji. I have a question related to, so who all could see the form, universal form? Because I think in verse 20, somewhere it says that Krishna gave the vision to others also in other planetary systems. Someone could see. So who all were able to have these divine darshans?
So according to Srila Baladev Vidyabhushan, all the devas or the demigods could see the form, but on the earth none could see, only Arjuna could see. And the other thing is, when Krishna showed the universal form to Duryodhana, and I'll tell the story behind that a little bit. One of the common misconceptions of Gita is that somehow, what sort of God is this that incited a war? Arjuna was a peace-loving person. He refused to fight. He wanted to preserve the peace on earth. And he was doing a very noble task. If there was Nobel Prize for peace at that time, Arjuna would have won for next 100 years. But then Krishna just said, you should fight, and he just started this whole destruction. It was not Krishna who started it. It was Duryodhana who refused to follow the orders of Krishna. What happened was that the Pandavas lost their kingdom in an unfair gambling match. They went to the forest for 12 years. They stayed incognito for a year. When they came back to claim their kingdom, Duryodhana refused. And you know the famous line that I will not give them a land that will even a needle can go through. Now, before the war began, there were so many efforts at peace. The Pandavas, they said, at least give us 5 villages. He had such a huge kingdom that was this earth. But the envy of Duryodhana was such that he couldn't even tolerate giving 5 villages to Pandavas. And then Krishna, actually, he said to Yudhishthir, I will go to Hastinapur and I will make attempts at peace. Till now, every single attempt that was made for peaceful resolution of this dispute was outrightly rejected by Duryodhana. And by extension, Dhritarashtra. Dhritarashtra was the king. He was supposed to control his son, but it was the other way around. And whoever went to kind of seek peace, they were either humiliated or mocked at. They were just... And then Krishna said to Yudhishthira, I will go. Yudhishthira said, no, please don't go. We have tried and it was just not working out. We don't want you to be slighted, insulted, or, the whole world will know you are a failure. You are God, you cannot do that. Please don't go. You know what Krishna says? Krishna says, Duryodhan, Yudhishthir, if I don't go now, then the whole world will blame you for war. But if I go, they say even Krishna tried, it didn't work out. The love that Krishna has for his devotees is so intense. Quote unquote, he was a failure. And actually, Krishna goes to Hastinapur. We hear the famous story of how Duryodhan says, all right, let's give the best reception, get out the best cooks, the best dancers in the kingdom, the best this, the best that. Let's give a grand reception to Krishna. And then come, we can just entice him, bribe him, and then we can pull him to our side. And then Krishna goes all the way. And then he says, no thanks. I don't want your reception. I don't want to stay in your palatial 5-star suite. I'm just happy staying in the house of Vidura, who was by no stretch of imagination as opulent as Duryodhan. And he was given just a banana. But banana Vidura gave. Vidura was shocked actually. He didn't know that Krishna was coming. Krishna just came and he said, Vidura was minding his own business, and outside the door Krishna was there. Like shocked. He was just flabbergasted. He didn't know what to do. He invited him, and then, he just hurriedly offered bananas. In ecstasy, he just peeled the bananas. He put the banana aside, gave the peel to Krishna, and Krishna ate the peel. And then Krishna went to the assembly, and there, foolish Duryodhan, he tried to capture Krishna. He said, if I can capture Krishna and put him into jail, then all the Pandavas will lose their will to fight. So the battle is already won. Duryodhana's thinking was always crooked, because he knew with armed forces he could never defeat. With military strength he could never defeat Pandavas. Always crooked mentality like this. Let's throw Krishna into prison. Then Krishna shows his universal form. And that universal form was like a trailer, a sample, just like a microcosm of what he showed here in this universal form. So yes, Krishna did show the universal form to Duryodhan, but it was just like to throw him off the guard. And he just showed the universal form. He said, what foolish, Duryodhana, you're just so foolish. Your entire dynasty is going to get destroyed. One last point, before anybody feel to close the argument forever that Krishna incited violence. God forbid, in somebody's house, there is a violent assault that is going on. Some robbers have entered the house. They have violently beaten up the residents of the house and robbing that house. And you call, somehow or other you get a phone, you call 911. And the cops come rushing. They look at the whole situation. Hey, why are you called us unnecessarily? They are just beaten you up. They are robbing your raw valuables. Let them go, nah, it's okay. What will be your reaction? So for the sake of universal peace, Krishna, and universal peace and righteousness, Krishna had to uproot the elements of the earth that were causing havoc. Even in the present day, how many kings and rulers are there in this earth whose purpose is, whose priority of taking care of their subjects is very last on the agenda. And they have everything else going on except that. So Krishna has to come and uproot. And when people like this somehow by hook or crook capture the positions of power and torment the people, who is there? Who is there that can come and actually save? And that's Krishna, exactly that's what he did. Bharavatarana, he says the earth was getting overburdened by these vicious demoniac kings, so Krishna had to come. And then this battlefield of Kurukshetra was the perfect ground where Krishna assembled all the kings together at the same time. And he could get rid of the whole earth. And that was his ultimate game plan. And it shows in the future verses. Should we continue? All right. Where? Online? Yes. Mansi Mataji. And then, I'm sorry, the other name, Meghala. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
I have a question. So in text 10:11, Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport, these manifestations were distributed throughout the universe. Does that mean all expanding? What does all expanding mean, Prabhuji? Is what does it mean, all expanding?
So all expanding is the fact that the universal, because there are unlimited number of universes and Krishna is pervading through all of the unlimited number of universes, there is no question of saying this is the limit. So we can see that he is there, but he is expanded elsewhere, expanded elsewhere, expanded elsewhere. And you can see how it's not a static figure, it is continuously pervading everywhere. So that is Krishna, where he can pervade the entire, even a single atom sitting in my heart, every jiva's heart he is sitting, every atom he is sitting, the material nature is all expanding, so is Krishna. There is no, sorry, go ahead.
So, no, sorry, you finish.
No, complete, I'm done.
So, but then what does this mean? These manifestations were distributed throughout the universe. Like throughout the universe, there were multiple mouths, multiple eyes.
So for example, multiple mouths and multiple eyes are the Krishna's way of seeing everything everywhere. When it says so then you can see all those so-called universal eyes are now at least situated at one place. He can see everything. He can hear everything, which means unlimited number of ears and mouths. And because he can accept anything. I'm doing first, for example, if I'm doing fire sacrifice here, the fire is the tongue of Lord Vishnu. He is able to accept everything. Millions of places all over the unlimited number of universes, people are also doing swaha. And then his tongue is there, his tongue is there, his tongue is spread everywhere, he's accepting it. That means that.
Just like we say sun and moon are his eyes. So sun and moon is in every universe, so that's how he is also. And then we say all the demigods also are the, what is it called? They also report back. They also see what we are doing.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Prabhupada.
Thank you. Meghala, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, thank you. That was such a great explanation. I appreciate that. My question is that it seems like Arjuna has the faith that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, right? So why does he need to see his universal form, or why does he ask to see the universal form if he already has faith in who he is?
That's a brilliant question. That is a brilliant question. Let me see if I can find the answer in one of the purports. Let's go to text 1 and purport, and then the second chapter. Thank you for bringing that. Now, as far as Arjuna is concerned, he says that his illusion is over. That means that Arjuna no longer thinks of Krishna as a mere human being, as a friend of his, but as the source of everything. Arjuna is very enlightened and is glad that he has such a great friend as Krishna. But now he is thinking that although he may accept Krishna as source of everything, others may not. So in order to establish Krishna's divinity for all, he is requesting Krishna in this chapter to show the universal form. So the answer here, Meghala, is that Arjuna is convinced, but he wants to kind of establish Krishna's divinity for all. And then if somebody says, I am God, in 7th chapter, Krishna says, Mattaha parataram nanyat kinchidasti dhananjaya. He says that there is no truth beyond me. When he says there is no truth beyond me, then then one of the qualities of that absolute truth is to be the ability to show the universal form. Ananda Mataji, Hare Krishna. Is that helpful, Meghala? All right. Shyam Chandra Prabhu. There was one.
Prabhuji. So here Krishna is showing universal form means only our universe or all over the universes which are coming from Vishnu. I mean, that means total material vision of Krishna's expansions, Prabhu.
Thank you. My understanding is yes, it is the totality of the universe. Everything past, present, and future is at one place. But here is the thing though, our ability to comprehend can only be enabled by Krishna's vision. He can say, I can show you only this much, or I can show you the entirety. But the very fact that he is able to see everything at one place, my understanding is the totality of the entire unlimited number of universes. And that's also, it came unlimited eyes, unlimited forms. Because this universe in one sense is limited. So,
Thank you so much, Lord.
Thank you. All right. Should we continue or more questions? Okay. Let's keep going. Yes, Jambavati. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Your explanations are so nectarian. I just have a quick question. In verse 5, explanation like purport, Prabhupada says that as the material nature is manifested and not manifested, what does not manifested mean? Does it mean annihilation or... Okay.
That means annihilation. Because if you see... in the second chapter, no need to bring it up. Second chapter, Krishna says, Avyaktadini bhutani vyaktavidyani varata. It is that this soul is manifested and then it's unmanifested, which means, or the body is manifest and unmanifest, which means the material creation, actually what you see right now, unless Krishna manifests it, it'll be, and after a certain stage, everything is completely dissolved. There is nothing existing except Krishna. And that's unmanifested. And this has been continuously going on. Because our lifespan is so short, and then it seems like a big time that it always existed, but it's constantly changing and collapsing from Krishna's eyes. I'll tell you one more thing, one more way to look at it. In the 9th chapter, we hear that our lifespan in Kali Yuga is 100 years. 6 months of our time is 1 day for demigods. And for Brahma, in 1 day, 1024 yugas come and go. So Brahma's lifespan is 311,420,000,000,000 years according to our time. Good luck, celebrating the last birthday of Brahma with the candles. So, but you know what? For Vishnu, 311 trillion life years have gone by. So, for him, it's so constantly changing. But for us, we perceive as if things are so stable. That is the illusion that he creates in this world. Thank you. All right, text 12. Please keep the questions coming. I do have to complete, I go to Bhakti Vriksha programs. And in Bhakti Vriksha programs, I tell them that I have no compulsion to complete certain shlokas. I'll be fed irrespective by the host. But here I do have to complete the 55 verses. Having said that, questions are important. Even if perchance we don't complete the verses, that's okay with me. But the questions, keep them coming. But it's good to complete. Text 12. Divi Surya Sahasrasya Bhaved Yugapaduttita Yadi Bhasadrishi Sasyad Bhashastasya Mahatmanaha. Online, next, please.
Yeah. If hundreds of thousands of suns were to rise at once into the sky, their radiance might resemble the effulgence of the Supreme Person in that universal form.
Thank you.
Devi Kumari, next.
Thank you, Sukumala. Okay. Next verse, 13. Tat Mamatraikastam Jagat Kritsnam Pravibhaktam Anekada Apashyad Deva Devasya Sharire Pandavastata. So if one round is complete online, is online completed one round or no?
No.
No. Please complete. Yeah.
Ravi Kumari, are you on?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, can I?
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
At that time, Arjuna could see in the universal form of the Lord the unlimited expansions of the universe situated in one place, although divided into many, many thousands. Hare Krishna, thank you.
Who's next, Mata? You have to ask someone as well. Rajan?
I can read Prabhuji next one.
Okay, thank you, Shamchandra Prabhu. And that answers your question, that at that time, he could see the unlimited expansions of the universe situated in
Yes,
one place. All right, perfect.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
Thank you. All right, next verse. Tataha vishmayavisto. Sorry. Tataha sa vishmayavisto. Hrishtaro Dhananjaya Pranamya Shirasa Devam Kritanjalir Abhashata.
Then, bewildered and astonished, his hair standing on end, Arjuna bowed his head to offer obeisances and with folded hands began to pray the Supreme Lord. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. And then Arjuna is like, whoa, I thought he was my friend, but this is something really different. And he realizes that. Next verse, please. So the tune changes, but the prayers are really beautiful. Arjuna is bewildered, afraid, in awe and shock, and then his prayers are going on like this. Arjuna uvacha pashyami devam stava deva dehe sarvam stata bhuta vishesha sanghan Brahmanamisham kamalasanastam Rishimscha sarvanurugamscha devyan. Online, everybody done, or Brajalata Mataji side? Please.
I can read.
Okay, please do.
Arjuna said, My dear Lord Krishna, I see assembled in your body all the demigods and various other living entities. I see Brahma sitting on the lotus flower, as well as Lord Shiva and all the sages and divine serpents.
Thank you, Brajamadevi. You can ask someone else, pass the baton to someone as you.
Yes, I will pass to... Oh, sure, you, Mataji, go ahead.
Okay, go ahead. Next verse, please. Thank you. Anekabahu daravaktra netram pashyami tvam sarvatonantarupam nantam namadyam na punastavadim Pashyami Vishveshvara Vishvarupa.
O Lord of the universe, O universal form, I see in your body many, many arms, bellies, mouths, and eyes expanded everywhere without limit. I see in you no end, no middle, and no beginning. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Rajalata Mataji, who else?
I can read, Prabhu.
All right, thank you. Next verse.
You're welcome, Prabhu. So next verse is
I'll do the Sanskrit, you do the translation. Thank you.
Oh, sorry.
No problems. Kiritinam gadinam chakrinim cha tejo rashim sarvato diptimantam
Tejo Rashim Sarvato Dipti.
Pashyami tvam durniriksham samantat
Pashyam Niriksham
Deeptan alarkadyutim aprameyam.
Deeptan Avalkate Dutimat Prame.
Go ahead. Please do the translation. You are muted.
Okay. Now can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Your form is difficult to see because of its glaring effulgence is spreading on all sides like blazing fire or the immeasurable radiance of the sun. Yet I see this glowing form everywhere, adorned with various crowns, clubs, and discs.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Right.
Thanks.
Let's continue. Tvamaksharam paramam veditavyam Tvamasya vishvasya param nidhanam Tvamavyaya shashvata dharma gopta Sanatanastvam purusho mato me. Jambavati can do it. We can before. Yeah.
You are the supreme primal objective. You are the ultimate resting place of all this universe. You are inexhaustible and you are the oldest. You are the maintainer of the eternal religion, the personality of Godhead. This is my opinion.
Thank you. Next verse. Anadimadyantamanantaviryam Anantabahum shashi surya netram Pashyami tvam deepta hutasha vaktram Swatejasa vishvamidam tapantam.
I can go next, Prabhu.
Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
You
Krishna.
are without origin, middle, or end. Your glory is unlimited. You have numberless arms, and the sun and moon are your eyes. I see you with blazing fire coming forth from your mouth, burning this entire universe by your own radiance. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you. Hare Krishna. So this is the second time Arjuna is repeating. You have no middle, no beginning and no end. Your origin, no middle. So Srila Prabhupada writes, because he was wondered, just think about it. A child, mother is watching and the child suddenly fell down. What happened? What happened? Why didn't he say it twice? You can say once. It is the same thing that's going on here. Sometimes repetition actually is a fault in literature. You can't repeat unless it is in a situation that is worth repeating, but usually for this that's what Srila Prabhupada writes here. All right, text 20. Did everybody go online? All right. If there is no online passing of the baton, then I'll just ask the devotees here. It's a competition kind of thing. So, Dvaya pritivyo ridamantaram hi vyaptam tvayaikena dishascha sarva drishtvaadbhutam rupamugram tavedam lokatrayam pravyatitam mahatman. Okay.
Although you are one, you spread throughout the sky and the planets and all space between. O Great One, seeing this wondrous and terrible form, all the planetary systems are perturbed.
Just imagine the vision of Krishna. He's the universal form, but he's just spread everywhere. I mean, one of the things people think is, I can go someplace. Actually, it is mentioned that that one of the teachers said to the students that you have to, it's a very terrible task I need to give you. You have to kill this pigeon. And he says, oh really? Yeah, but you should do it in a place where nobody can see you. And then the student is learned. Obviously, he goes to many places. And then he says, sorry, I cannot do this because God is everywhere. And then the teacher said, you have passed the test. Because Krishna, here it is mentioned, how Krishna is just sitting at one place, but he's spread everywhere, in every atoms, in the heart of all the living entities. There is no place where you cannot. And when you read Bhagavad Gita and when you come of Krishna's greatness, you will think that, what's the point in trying to do anything that you think nobody can see? Text 21. Amihi tvam sura sangha vishanti kechid bhita pranjalayo grinanti swasti tyuktva maharshi siddha sangha stuvanti tvam stutibhi pushkalabhihi.
All the hosts of demigods are surrendering before you and entering into you. Some of them, very much afraid, are offering prayers with folded hands. Hosts of the great sages and perfect being, crying, all peace, are praying to you by singing the Vedic hymns.
Thank you. And you have to bear with me because these are by far the toughest shlokas in Gita to pronounce. The 11th chapter is, other shlokas are little, and anyways, but these are really beautiful. Okay, next verse, please. Rudraditya vasavo ye cha sadhya Vishveshvino marutaschom pavschaha Gandharva yaksha surasiddha sangha Vikshante tvam vishvitaschaiva sarve.
All the various manifestations of Lord Shiva, the Adityas, the Vasus, the Sadyas, the Vishvedevas, the two Ashvis, the Maruts, the forefathers, the Gandharvas, the Yakshas, the Asuras, and the perfected demigods are beholding you in wonder.
Thank you. Next verse. Rupam mahate bahuvaktra netram mahabaho bahurupadam bahudaram bahudamstrakaralam Drishtva loka pravyatitastataham.
O mighty armed one, all the planets with their demigods are disturbed at seeing your great form, with its many faces, eyes, arms, thighs, legs, and bellies, and your many terrible teeth. And as they are disturbed, so am I.
Thank you. So this is where the demigods are able to see. So they have the vision because they are part and parcels of Krishna, and they are in a much powerful position. And so they have that vision, and so they are able to see as well. Earlier to your question. Next word. Nabhasprisham deeptamanekavarnam Vyattananam deepta vishalanetram Drishtva hitvam pravyatitantaratma Tritim navindami shamam cha Vishnu. Okay, actually, Akhil and they can, if you want to do the okay, you do have the mics? No, right? It's okay. But you should give them the mic. Please. They should get a chance as well. I know. Oh, you can't? Okay, that's fine. You can do Akhil. You can just do one. Poor fellows, they have to do the broadcasting. So.
O all-pervading Vishnu, seeing you with your many radiant colors touching the sky, your gaping mouths, and your great glowing eyes, my mind is perturbed by fear. I can no longer maintain my steadiness or equilibrium of mind.
It's like your friend came to visit you for 10 days. You thought, he was having some fun, but you realized he was the President of the United States. It's like, Mr. President. I mean, of course, it's a very crude example, but it just fits because Arjuna, he thought Krishna as his friend. Now seeing his awesome power, it's just, we will continue, and you can see how he, further continues. Text 25. Damstra karalani chate mukhani Drishtva kala nalasannibhani Disho na jane na labhe cha sharma Prasida devesha jagan nivasa. All right, online. And then please pass the baton for a quick efficiency.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Haribol.
O Lord of the Lords, O refuge of the worlds, please be gracious to me. I cannot keep my balance seeing thus your blazing death-like faces and awful teeth. In all directions, I am bewildered. Hare Krishna, thank you.
Hare Krishna. And who next? Mata, Rajalata.
Ah, Hare Krishna.
You have to ask someone.
Oh, who is next?
I can read next, Prabhu.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Ami chatvam dhartarashtrasya putra sarve sahaivavani sanghai Bhishmo drona suta putrastataso Sahasmadiyayrapi yodamukyai Vaktrani te tvaramana vishanti Damstra karalani bhayanakani Kechid vilagna dashanantareshu Sandrishyayante churnitairuttamangai
All the sons of Dhritarashtra, along with their allied kings, and Bhishma, Drona, Karna, and our chief soldiers also, are rushing into your fearful mouths, and some I see trapped with heads smashed between your teeth.
You don't need to go anywhere.
Manasi?
Sorry, who? Okay, who Mata next? Radhastali? All right.
Manasi?
Perfect. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, thank you. I mean, you don't need to watch horror movies. Bhagavad Gita is enough. Seriously. Because Krishna, the other point here is that death is something is ordained by Krishna. You know, every jiva has their lifespan in this world. And it is, Krishna will give that time determination on when you are born and, you know, when you need to quit this body. So here he's showing that they are already done. I've already killed them, you know, because anyways, and you can see the next few verses, Krishna reiterates that. Text 28. Yata nadinam bahavambuvega samudrameva bimukhadravanti tata tavami naralokavira Vishanti vaktranyabhivijwalanti. Okay, yeah.
Text 28. As the many waves of the rivers flow into the ocean, so do all these great warriors enter into her blazing mouths.
Thank you.
Gaurav Prabhu can go next.
Thank you. Yata pradiptam jvalanam patanga Vishanti nashaya samruddha vega Tataiva nashaya vishanti lokas Tavapi vaktrani samruddha vega.
Hare Krishna. I see all people rushing full speed into your mouths as moths dash to destruction in a blazing fire.
Thank you.
Radhastali Mataji can go next.
Okay. Lili hyase grasamana samantal Okay, let's do that again. Leli hyase grasamana samantal. Lokan samagran vadanair jvalabdibihi. Tejo virapurya jagat samagram. Bhashastavogra pratipanti Vishnu.
O Lord of Lords, so fierce a form.
No, it's different. Text 30.
Sorry. O Vishnu, I see you devouring all people from all sides with your flaming mouths, covering all the universe with your effulgence. You are manifest with terrible, scorching rays.
So, just in case you think this is just a standalone, one of the beautiful episodes that happens in Mahabharata was when the questions by Yaksha. And in a nutshell, what happens is this. A Brahmana loses the ladles by which he performs the sacrifice. He puts the ladles tied up neatly in a cloth bundle, and they get entangled in the horns of a deer. And then the deer starts running away, and the Brahmana gives a chase, unsuccessful. He comes to the Pandavas. He says, please get me my sticks. It's just like a software engineering losing his laptop. You can't live without it kind of situation. There is no IT department to replace the ladles for the Brahmana. So the Pandavas give a chase, and they are unsuccessful, tired, exhausted, hungry. Yudhishthir asks one of his brothers to go search for a source of drinking water. And, Nakul goes. He goes to the lake. He's warned not to drink the water, doesn't obey. And he falls unconscious after drinking water. The same fate the same fate is falling on all the four brothers who approach. And then Yudhishthir goes. And then this time Yaksha says, this is my lake. You cannot drink without my permission. He says, and then you should answer all my questions. Then you can drink. And then Yaksha starts asking questions, Yudhishthir answers. One of the questions Yaksha asked, very interesting questions. One of the questions Yaksha asks is, what's the news? He says, what is the news of this world? And then Maharaj Yudhishthir answers like this. Asmin mahamohamaye katahe suryagniratri divendanena masarutu darva parighattanena bhutani kalo pachati tivartaha. The thing is, he says, this world which is full of ignorance and completely illusion is like a big frying pan. And what is the frying pan? The source of that is the sun. Now, if you have a frying pan and the flame, you need the fuel. He says the passing days and nights are the fuel. Now, if you have that, you need something to cook. He says the months and the seasons are the wooden ladle. It's a fine picture of cooking, except two things are missing. What are the ingredients? And then who is eating? He says, this great fan, all the living beings are fried. They are being fried by the time. And bhutani kalo pachatiti vartaha, that the time is just devouring all these living beings. And that is the news of this world. And that is exactly happening this year. He says, I see people, and this is just the nature of this world. This actually should propel us to become more, when you hear these topics of gloom, doom, and just, boom in this material world, it should give us impetus that, what am I doing here? Why am I here? And how can I accelerate my purpose of being here, rather than thinking. I'll give an example. You have 3 students, okay, in the same class, and they have to go and appear for the exam. First student, you say there is an exam, you'll say, dude, don't kid me. There is no exam. Life is great. I don't care. There is a second person. There is exam. I know. Are you kidding me? You are so paralyzed by fear, you can do nothing about it. I'm not going to do anything about it. The third student is the most practical. He says, I know there is an exam, I need to prepare for it. Who is the most person who's going to pass? Exactly. So the awareness of the negativity that this world is should propel us in a positive direction, not make us fearful. So I want to set that perspective, right? And when you read Gita and all that, oh my God, it's too depressing. Why am I reading? I'm happy like this. So you'll be like the student who will say, I don't have any exam. I don't have to worry. So far so good. All right. We'll do a few more verses. Let's complete Arjuna's prayers, and then we can start from there. Text 31, correct? Thank you. Akyahi me ko bhava, Akyahi me ko bhavanugra rupo. Namostu te deva vara prasida. Vijñātumicchāmi bhavantamadhyam. Nahi prajanāmi tava pravrittim. Online.
I can read?
Yes, please.
Yes. Hare Krishna. O Lord of Lords, so fierce of form, please tell me who you are. I offer my obeisances unto you. Please be gracious to me. You are the primal Lord. I want to know about you, for I do not know what your mission is.
Thank you. It's like the... Okay, Haribol, who next has to read?
Braj Madhavi Mataji.
Okay. All right. So it's like the earlier example I gave, your guest friend stayed with you for 10 days, you realize you're the President of the United States, and then he shows all the power and he says, why did you come to me? And Arjuna is like bewildered. What's your purpose in showing me this form, and who are you? And then the next is the very famous verse that's going to come. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Kalosmi loka kshayakrit pravriddho lokan samahartumiha pravrittaha ritepi tvam na bhavishyanti sarve Yeva stita pratyanikeshu yodha.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Time I am, the great destroyer of the worlds, and I have come here to destroy all people. With the exception of you, the Pandavas, all the soldiers here are on both sides will be slain.
Well, this is the famous line from the famous movie that just came out recently, right? So I think the thing is, when the nuclear explosion first happened, Dr. Robert Oppenheimer, he was a very scholar of Gita, and then this is the first verse that he came, seeing the devastation of the nuclear bomb. So, text.
Oh, I'm selecting Devi Gaurangi.
All right. Tasmat tvamuttishta yasho labhasva Jitva shatrum bhunksvarajyam samriddham. Mayaivaite nita purvameva. Mayaivaite nimitta matram bhava savyasachin. All right.
Krishna, therefore get up, prepare to fight and win glory. Conquer your enemies and enjoy a flourishing kingdom. They are already put to death by my arrangement, and you, O Sabyasachi, can be but an instrument in the fight.
So here, thank you. Who next? Okay, thank you. Here Krishna is saying, just become my instrument. Sit up. I know it's, we will wrap up as soon as we can, or we can take a 5-minute break. No? Okay. Here, please understand that Krishna is saying, I've already put to death all these warriors. No, just become an instrument. Arjuna initially was thinking that I have to kill, but Krishna says, no, I have already done it. You just become an instrument. And here is the beauty though. At the end of 18 chapters, when Krishna gives this elaborate description, he says to Arjuna a simple thing. Arjuna, I have told you what I have told you. Now it's up to you to do what you have to do. Which means that I have already killed them. Whether you will kill them or somebody else will kill them, it doesn't matter. So Krishna is the ultimate cause of all causes. We just become the instruments. Text 30. Thank you. Dronam cha bhishmam cha jayadratam cha karnam tatayanapi yodhaviran maya hatam stvam jahima vyatishta Yudyasva jeta sirane sapatnan. All right, please.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, okay. Yes.
Drona, Bhishma, Jayadratha, Karna, and the other great warriors have already been destroyed by me. Therefore, kill them and do not be disturbed. Simply fight and you will vanquish your enemies in battle.
Thank you. Mother, we'll take a break from online. You allocate one person, but we'll do online. We'll do in person here, and then we'll go back online. Is that okay?
I chose Mekhala Mataji.
Mekhala. All right, Mekhala, be on the ready, and then we'll do one round here, and then we'll get back to you. Questions so far? We can see how, after showing his universal form, which was disturbing, and Arjuna offering beautiful prayers and asking what the mission is, and Krishna replies, telling that, look, this is my mission here. And then we see what Sanjaya has few verses to say. Sanjaya uvacha etachrutva vachanam keshavasya kritanjalirvepamana kiriti namaskritva bhuya evaha krishnam sagadgadam bhita bhita pranamya. All right. Kennedy, you can start from there and then we'll go like that. I said to Mekhala, we'll do one round here and then we'll go back.
I was confused. Sanjaya said to Dhritarashtra, O king, after hearing these words from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the trembling Arjuna offered obeisances with folded hands again and again. He fearfully spoke to Lord Krishna in a faltering voice as follows.
Thank you. Next verse. Arjuna Vacha Stane Hrishikesha Tava Prakritya Jagat Prahrishtyatyanurajyate cha Rakshami bhitani disho dravanti Sarve namasyanti cha siddha sangha.
Arjuna said, O master of senses, the world becomes joyful upon hearing your name, and thus everyone becomes attached to you. Although the perfected beings offer you their respectful homage, the demons are afraid and they flee here and there. All this is rightly done.
Nice. Thank you. Next verse. Kasmachatena namairan mahatman Gariyase brahmanopyadikartre Anantadevesha jagannivasa Tvamaksharam sadasattatparam yad. Okay, Jambati.
O Great One, greater even than Brahma, you are the original creator. Why then should they not offer their respectful obeisances unto you? O Limitless One, God of gods, refuge of the universe, you are the invincible source, the cause of all causes, transcendental to this material manifestation.
Thank you. Next verse. Tvamadideva purusha puranas Tvamasya vishvasya param nidhanam Vetasi vedyam cha param cha dama Tvaya tatam vishvamanantarupa.
You are the original personality of Godhead, the oldest, the ultimate sanctuary of this manifested cosmic world. You are the knower of everything, and you are all that is knowable. You are the supreme refuge above the material modes. O limitless form, this whole cosmic manifestation is pervaded by you.
Thank you. Vayur yamognir varuna shashankaha Prajapatisthvam papitamahascha Namo namaste stu sahasrakritva Punascha bhuyopi namo namaste.
You are air and you are the supreme controller. You are fire, you are water, and you are the moon. You are Brahma, the first living creature, and you are the great grandfather. I therefore offer my respectful obeisance unto you 1,000 times and again and yet again.
So here you can see when everything is within Krishna, it's integrated within the universal form. You are everything. So that's why it is mentioned, you are this, but it's all contained within. Next verse. Namah purastad ataprishthataste Namostu te sarvata eva sarva Ananta viryamita vikramastvam Sarvam samapnoshi tatosi sarvaha. Is everybody done? Sattvat, you done?
Hare Krishna. Obeisances to you from the front, from behind, and from all sides. O unbounded power, you are the master of limitless might. You are all-pervading, and thus you are everything.
Thank you. All right, Mekhala, you're next. Saketi matva prasabham yaduktam He Krishna, He Yadava, He Saketi Ajanata Mahimanam Tavedam Maya Pramadat Pranayena Vapi Yachavahasartamasat kritosi Vihara shayyasana bhojaneshu Eko tavapyachyuta tat samaksham Tat kshamaye tvamaham aprameyam.
Thinking of you as my friend, I have rashly addressed you, O Krishna, O Yadava, O my friend, not knowing your glories. Please forgive whatever I may have done in madness or in love. I have dishonored you many times, jesting as we have relaxed, lay on the same bed, or sat or ate together, sometimes alone and sometimes in front of many friends. O infallible one, please excuse me for all those offenses.
All right, next verse. It's like, again, I go back to the same analogy. 10 days the president was with you, you're like, hey dude, what's up? You come here, eat with me, go there, do this, do that, and joking, cutting jokes. Really, you're totally useless. What sort of person are you? I'm just a superior. In friend, like you're a friend, right? You can just say, if you made a mistake, then you are, dude, you don't even know how to do that. And in fact, it was mentioned, it's mentioned in Mahabharata that when Krishna says, when we were eating, sleeping, and going on tours, you're like, hey Yadava, hey Krishna, hey come here, let's do that. He would address like that Arjuna. And remembering what, my God, I addressed him like that. In fact, in Mahabharata, it's mentioned once they were sleeping on a sofa. Arjuna was sleeping with his head and legs here. Krishna was sleeping with his head here and legs here, almost at the feet of Arjuna. Like completely like friends. This is another beauty of Krishna. When you see him as his lover or a friend or a son, then he perfectly reciprocates. And he is the supreme object of love. In this world, there is no better person who can reciprocate the love to your fullest extent than Krishna. And here Arjuna had that full blast of experiencing Krishna as a friend. And now he is like remembering all those days. He says, sorry. Yes.
Prabhu, I have a question.
Yes.
So, Prabhu, did Pandavas
especially Arjuna, they didn't have any conception of Krishna being God, because till that time Krishna had already done so many superhuman things, right? So was they completely covered from that conception?
So, no, they knew he was God, absolutely. They were always his friends. Bhaktosi me sakacheti. They were always his friends, and he is Naranarayan. But Krishna sometimes covers the nature or covers the devotee's vision of him so that he doesn't feel that fear. In Vrindavan, in Vraja, that covering is especially stronger. But with other places, Arjuna is a friend, but with awareness that he is the Supreme Lord. In Raja and cowherd boys, they like, what sort of big man are you? I'll climb on your shoulders. That is his mood in Raja. It's a little slightly different mood. Is that okay? Thank you. Next verse, or this is the verse we have to complete? Okay. Pitasi lokasya characharasya Tvamasya pujyasya cha gurur gariyan Natvat samostyabhyadiko kutonyo Lokatrayepya pratima prabhava. Go for
I
it.
can read.
Yeah, go for it, Malti.
You are the father of this complete cosmic manifestation of the moving and the non-moving. You are its worshipable chief, the supreme spiritual master. No one is equal to you, nor can anyone be one with you. How then could there be anyone greater than you within the three worlds, O Lord of immeasurable power? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Next verse. Tasmat pranamya pranidhaya kayam Prasadaye tvam ahamisha medyam Piteva putrasya sakheva sakyuhu Priya priyayarhasi deva sodhum. Who next? Maltimath, you have to pass the baton because we have few more minutes, 18 specifically. So who is going to read?
Shweta.
All right.
Shweta Mataji.
Ata Shweta, please.
You are the Supreme Lord, to be worshipped by every living being. Thus I fall down to offer you my respectful obeisances and ask your mercy. As a father tolerates the impudence of his son, a friend the impertinence of a friend, or a husband the familiarity of his wife, please tolerate the wrongs I may have done you.
Nice, huh? All right. So Arjuna is like, yeah. Text. Number? Huh? Thank you. You can, yeah. Adrishtapurvam shrichistosmi drishtva Bhayena cha pravyatitam mano me Tadeva me darshaya deva rupam Prasida devesha jagannivasa.
After seeing this universal form, which I have never seen before, I am gladdened, but at the same time my mind is disturbed with fear. Therefore, please bestow your grace upon me and reveal again your form as the personality of Godhead, O Lord of Lords, O abode of the universe.
Thank you. Jagannivasa comes quite few times in this. Kiritinam Gadinim Chakrahastam Ichchamitmam drashtumaham tataiva Tenaiva rupena chaturbhujena Sahasrabaho bhava vishvamurte.
I can read, Prabhu.
Go for it.
O universal form, O thousand-armed Lord, I wish to see you in your four-armed form with helmeted head and with club, wheel, conch, and lotus flower in your hands. I long to see you in that form.
So,
Anshu.
Thank you. Who else? Who's next to Komala? Who's?
Anshu.
Anshu, thank you. So here the Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport that every devotee has a specific form to see the Lord. And the Lord appears according to the form of that devotee. And Arjuna, after seeing the universal form, he's like, yeah, thank you, please withdraw this form. This is... Anyways, Krishna is now responding to that. 11th chapter is one of the most interactive. I think it's the one chapter where Arjuna speaks, Krishna speaks, Sanjaya speaks, and then it's all over. It's nice. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Maya Prasannena Tavarjunedam Rupam Param Darshitamatma-yogat Tejomayam Vishwamanantamadyam Yanme Twadanyena Nadrishtapurvam.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, My dear Arjun, happily I have shown you, by my internal potency, the Supreme Universal Form within the material world. No one before you has ever seen this primeval form, unlimited and full of glaring effulgence.
Thank you.
God of Prabhu can go next.
All right.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. न वेदयज्ञाध्ययनैर्न दानैर् न च क्रियाभिर्न तपोभिरुग्रैः एवं रूपः शक्य अहं नृलोके द्रष्टुं त्वदन्येन कुरु प्रवीरा.
O best of the Kuru warriors, no one before you has ever seen this universal form of mine. For neither by studying the Vedas, nor by performing sacrifices, nor by charity, nor by pious activities, nor by severe penances, can I be seen in this form in the material world.
Thank you.
Smita Jadhav, Mataji can go next.
Thank you so much. Mate vyatama cha vimudha bhavo drishtva rupam ghoramidrinmamedam vyapeta-bhipritamana punastvam Tadeva me rupamidam prapashya. Go for it. Yeah, please do.
You have been perturbed and bewildered by seeing this horrible feature of mine. Now let it be finished. My devotee, be free from all disturbance. With a peaceful mind, you can now see the form you desire. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I had a question.
Mata, you have a question, or you were supposed to read and somehow it got missed?
No, Prabhuji. I had a question regarding text 48.
Yes, Mata.
To ask, or?
Please.
Yes, so Prabhuji, in the text 48, Krishna is saying, no one before you has ever seen this universal form of mine. So if nobody has seen this before, what kind of form did he show to Duryodhana?
Thank you. So, as I mentioned earlier, Duryodhana, when he saw the form, it was just a very, very microcosm. It was just a very small form that he showed, which was, you can say, infinitely smaller than what he showed here, just to show his power to foolish Duryodhana who tried to imprison him. Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport as well, here or somewhere in Chaitanya Charitamrita, the form he showed to Duryodhana was like a different kind of universal form just to scare him.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Actually, I also had a follow-up question.
Yes.
What was the reason that only Arjuna was shown this form? No, like there were other many devotees before Arjuna, great devotees also. So why did only Krishna show this form to Arjuna?
Because Arjuna asked for it. He says, I want to see that form. And Krishna said, I'll do that. Please understand that in these type of transcendental conversations, it is Krishna always in control. It is just through Arjuna, Krishna wished to reveal his form, and therefore he inspired Arjuna to ask that question. Please show me that universal form.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Next verse. Sanjaya Uvacha Ityarjunam Vasudevastatoktva Swakam Rupam Darshayamasa Bhuyaha Ashvasayamasa Chabhitamenam Bhutva Punah Saumya Vapur Mahatma. All right. Now it's free for all. Just pick up the phone and we need to wrap up. So I just still have to discuss. Go for it, Jambavati.
Hare Krishna. Sanjay said to Dhritarashtra, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, having spoken thus to Arjuna, displayed his real four-armed form and at last showed his two-armed form, thus encouraging the fearful Arjuna.
Nice. Next verse. Okay. The meter changes. Arjuna Uvacha Drishtvedam Manusham Rupam Tava Saumyam Janardana Idanim Asmi Samvrittaha Sacheta Prakritim Gataha. Alright, Jambavati, go for it.
When Arjuna thus saw Krishna in his original form, he said, O Janardhan, seeing this human-like form, so very beautiful, I am now composed in mind and I am restored to my original nature.
Thank you. Next verse. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Sudurdarsham idam rupam Drishtavanasi yanmama Devapyasya rupasya Nityam darshana kankshinaha.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "My dear Arjuna, this form of mine you are now seeing is very difficult to behold. Even the demigods are ever seeking the opportunity to see this form, which is so dear."
Thank you. Next verse. Naham vedairna tapasa na danena na chejjaya shakya evam vido drashtum drishtavanasi mam yatha.
The form you are seeing with your transcendental eyes cannot be understood simply by studying the Vedas, nor by undergoing serious penance, nor by charity, nor by worship. It is not by these means that one can see me as I am.
Thank you. Text 55. How can you see Krishna then? This is the verse that answers. Bhaktya tvananyaya shakya aham evam vidorjuna jnatum drashtum cha tatvena praveshtum cha parantapa.
My dear Arjuna, only by undivided devotional service can I be understood as I am, standing before you, and can thus be seen directly. Only in this way can you enter into the mysteries of my understanding.
So Srila Prabhupada he writes a long purport based on the previous acharyas on how one can see Krishna only through bhakti. And why is it? Because if you want to see Krishna, the only way it is possible is Krishna revealing himself to you. And why would he reveal himself to you is he is captured by your love. And then, so that's the reason why it's mentioned so many places that you don't try to see Krishna, but act in such a way that Krishna wants to see you. It's a very beautiful purport. I wish we had the time to go into the depth of these purport and go through. And this verse is for memorization for Bhakti Sastri. So, and the reason why we chose this verse is Srila Prabhupada writes, this is the essence of Gita. The entire essence of Gita is there in this verse, the last verse. Mat karma krin mat paramo mad bhakta sangavarjitaha nirvairai sarva bhuteshu yaha samameti pandava mat karma krin mat paramo mad bhakta sangavarjita nirvairah sarva bhuteshu yaha samameti pandava. Translation.
My dear Arjuna, he who engages in my pure devotional service, free from the contaminations of fruitive activities and mental speculation, he who works for me, who makes me the supreme goal of his life, and who is friendly to every living being, he certainly comes to me.
Thank you. So this, and if you can go down to the purport a little bit. So anyone who wants to approach, purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai, anyone who wants to approach the Supreme of all personalities of Godhead on Krishna Loka, in planet, in spiritual sky, and be intimately connected with the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna must take this formula as stated by the Supreme Himself. Therefore, this verse is considered to be the essence of. So this is the purport. I wish we could go through much more depth into verses. I'm so grateful to each and every one of you for patiently listening. And we will have the next class next week, 12th class. It's 20 verses, so we'll try to go a little bit more deeper. We have more time to go through and spend more time. 55 is one of the third largest, actually, in the Gita. 78 is 18, 72 is 2, and then 11 is 55. But for the 18th, we'll have 2 classes. We'll split it up, right? Any final questions, comments, online, otherwise, in person?
Prabhu, I had one.
Yes.
Prabhu, in verse 33, Krishna says that your enemies have already been killed. So through the course of Mahabharata, you say a lot of like back and forth on, in Arjuna's mind on whether he's going to be victorious and a whole wave of emotions. I don't know, when Arjuna already knew the result, it's basically he knew the result that none of his brothers are going to die from what he had seen there. So how do you explain this dichotomy? Like he knows the result, but he still goes through those emotions through the course of the war.
He goes through the emotions before he knew the results. So in the first chapter, Arjuna is not sure whether he will win or lose. And that's why he says, whether I am killed by the Pandavas or whether I am killed by the Kauravas or whether they let them kill me, I am not going to fight. That indecision is not made aware in the first chapter. And he is deliberately put into illusion by the Supreme Lord so that Krishna can speak the whole Gita to him. But in the 11th chapter, he makes it clear.
But Prabhu, even during the war, like when Abhimanyu leaves his body and when like he's not confident enough when he's fighting Bhishma, when Arjuna takes up arms almost. So even there, he's displaying some lack of like conviction. I don't know how to explain that.
Because he was too attached to grandfather Bhishma and he didn't want to kind of give the full force. And therefore Krishna was urging, Bhishma is slaughtering our army, please kill him. He was like, I'll fight half-based. And then Krishna takes up the wheel ready to kill Bhishma and then, please don't do that, I will fight. It was more of an attachment. When you read Bhagavad Gita, you don't become a stone, you're devoid of all. So it is that aspect of it.
Thank you.
Thank you. If there is nothing else, please take a well-deserved break of at least 30 minutes before Sunday feast begins. We'll have the class given by His Grace Vaisheshika Prabhu, so please do stick around.